I was going to ask you, the last 2 weeks you've run like a man possessed. Describe, I guess, how the last 2 weeks have went, especially today.
Well, it's either you lose and go home, or you win and keep playing. And the offensive line that I got, they're gonna do their job. My job is just to make something happen after that. And, it's time. You gotta be ready to go. So, win or shut up.
Mike, what'd you think of Coastal's offense?
They were good. They came in with a good scheme, and I said earlier in the week, I think that quarterback kind of presented the most problems we've seen as someone who can both throw and run. And it was tough to contain him and keep him in the pocket, but we got a couple big stops when we needed them, and it ended up working out.
Colten, does this feel like a day where the offense had to maybe pick up the slack? You guys have done such a great job of that the last 4 years. That was the offense's time.
Absolutely, it's a team game. Sometimes where the offense didn't play well, defense picked them up. Defense didn't play very well today, and offense just kept running the football and keeping control. And it was important in the second half for us to get a stop, and we were able to get stops when we had to, like Mike said.
You say the defense didn't play very well. Did they just kind of expose you guys? What kind of happened out there? What did you guys see?
They had some good players. I think like Mike said, good scheme. They what made it tough is their line would kind of just take up space, and then you couldn't really see where the running back was, and he did a good job kind of making cutbacks and getting us on our heels in terms of tackles, and we didn't tackle very well today.
You guys came out in the fourth quarter, though. What was that mentality like on the sideline, maybe from both of you?
It's like any other week. I think like last week against SDSU, we know offense is going to put a score up on board, and it's our job on defense to get a stop and finish the game.
Cool. Just what were your thoughts? I don't know if you get a chance to talk about Crockett, the 45-yard run to put you guys in the lead. I mean, was that something that gave you guys a lift at that point, or maybe energized the defense?
Yeah, it gave us a lead eventually. So yeah, and then getting the momentum in offense, on defense, we just get a stop and keep the offense rolling.
Mike, you guys seem to put a lot of pressure, especially in the fourth quarter, on the quarterback. What were you guys doing differently in that quarter that allowed you to start putting some pressure on?
He kind of had happy feet a little bit. When his number one read wasn't there, he would kind of look to start scrambling. So we just changed up a little bit, went to more power rushes, and kind of waited for him to make his move, and then broke from there. Early on, we were kind of just getting high in our lanes and giving him a rushing lane, and we just had to make a slight adjustment there, and it worked out.
John, the stretch run, obviously big for you guys. It looked like on both the touchdowns, that is what you guys ran to either side. Why was that play so effective?
Oh, because they do some tricky things with their corners. Their corner spills, and that's basically where he takes up the inside, and then that leaves the whole outside open. And to be honest with you, the 70-yard run, it was all blocked up well. And people don't notice this, but Andrew Bonnet had a hell of a block 40 yards down the field, and he was able to pin his guy, and that's really what got me to get into the end zone. And all credit goes to the offensive line, those boys, man. It's just the little things that you don't see. They do it for you. They do it for you.
Talk about that 45-yard touchdown. Where does that rank on runs you've had in your career? Does that rank up there for you?
I was just happy to get my team a lead. At the end of the day, I don't think about my individual runs or anything like that. At the end of the day, I was still pissed off because we were in that. It was that close of a game. So it was a good one. It was a fun. I'm happy that it helped us win, and getting ready for next week.
Cole, it seems like you guys are doing a lot of adjusting, switching things up. At least that's what Coach Lyman was saying too. Was that more than usual, or what was that like?
Yeah, I would say we did a lot more adjustments. Kind of the stuff we were doing a lot of movements up front with the D line. I think because of how they were blocking things, we eliminated the movements up front and kind of simplified our scheme a little bit. So coaches did a great job of getting us in some better fits in terms of what they were running.
Was it a situation where you're just trying to look for something to work, and eventually something did in the fourth quarter, or is that too simplified?
It was more we were running the same plays, just kind of different movements up front. We changed a lot, but the calls we had in are the ones we ran. For the most part.
Cool. Defensively or offensively, I mean, the swinging gate on the 2-point conversion and the fake punt. I mean, did you see any of that stuff, or have they shown any of that, or was a lot of that stuff new for you guys?
Yeah, they've been doing that all year, and I think we stopped pretty much every one of those. Besides the fake pump, that was fourth and a couple inches. So we knew going into the week they did that gate stuff and did a lot of fake style stuff, and we did a great job matching up to that stuff, and I think that was one of the reasons why we won this game.
Mike, Coach talked a lot about how this is a game where Travis Beck would have been all over there, and you guys certainly missed him out there. That being said, how proud are you of this group and how you guys stood up and were able to come back in the fourth quarter and make those big stops?
I think just as a team as a whole, the last 2 weeks, it just kind of shows our character and our mentality. We never panic, really. We've been put in these situations since we've been here, since what year was it, 2011. We've had close games, and we've learned not to panic, how to overcome the adversity, and it would have been great to have Beck out there. We all know how good of a player he is, but that's just another part of adversity we have to overcome.
What was going through your mind when you had the interception and took the knee? And was it relief or what was the emotion at that point?
I'm not sure. I was just so tired. I just wanted to get off the field. But at that point, we won the game. I think to be able to keep advancing the playoffs right now during your senior year, I think it's a combination of both probably.
Seems like the fans are adjusting to these twirling wins, these back-to-back. What it's been like with you guys these past 2 weeks?
Survive and advance, man. We keep playing, and that's all we can ask for right now.
John, what's going through your mind when you make a big play and then they respond, then you score and then they erase it? Throughout the game.
You keep playing. You can control what you can control. You don't think about what they're doing. You just make sure that you keep doing what you need to do on your side of the ball. And at the end of the day, defenses they're going to get the job done. That's what they do. That's what they do all year. And I think people really need to understand how special that this 2014 Bison team is, because we're able to win in situations like we've been put in, where calls or close games. And so when people say, this NDSU team is different than everyone in the past, darn right it is, but at the end of the day, we still have that same hunger, that same desire, and that same will to want to win.
Talk about playing at home in these situations and how big that is for you guys, how important that is.
It's huge. We don't have to travel. We get to play in front of a home crowd. People actually like you. If we go to Carolina, I bet you nobody likes us out there. So it's great to not have to travel, get on a plane on a Thursday night or Friday, and then you get to practice in where you're going to play, and it's just huge.
And as far as the environment,
it's huge too. Offense doesn't have to worry about snap keys and things like that, and then defensively, just it's that extra energy you need when you need to stop. It's tough on the offense. I think we've known that for the last couple of years.
How physical was this game for you guys? Maybe a little bit more than you guys would have anticipated, or it seemed like you guys were all kind of taking a lot of bumps and bruises out there?
Yeah, they did a good job in the trenches, but Valley play prepares us for that. It's the last, we had 8 games of Valley play, all back-to-back. We're ready for that kind of physicality and that kind of grind, and we're prepared for it.
That's really our game.
Yeah.
We get in the bar fights and we try to beat you up. I mean, that's just how we play. We just played South Dakota State last week. That was a hard-hitting game. So
right.
That's just this is what we do. It's our makeup.
John, over 200 yards today, was that Tasmo? Was that what Tasmo looks like then when you get rolling like that?
Oh yeah, Taz. Yeah, I mean, that guy is something else. I mean, that John, he's not too. He takes care of all his cameras and stuff. But Taz, he's an a-hole and he just wants to win. And so I'm happy that he was able to come through today and do what he does.